whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. What's up, family? Welcome. Come on, camera. Okay. Oh, there we go. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Random Topic Sundays, the hottest live stream here in the cosmos of YouTube, Facebook, X, and Rumble. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to welcome all of my people on Rumble. Of course, go to Random Topics Sunday, Random Topics on Rumble right now. Over that, we actually are live there. Subscribe. We're trying to move the channel away, topics and links away from YouTube. So we're going to try and be growing the channel there. Make sure you go right to Rumble there, look up Random Topics, all exclamation points after it. You'll see my channel. So make sure you do that. We are live, guys. I'm coming at you with 5. Hope you all are enjoying this weekend that we have. Which I know it's going by real fast. The year's going by real fast. In August, we're midway through August. So as hot as it has been this summer is almost over. Now, of course, I live in the South. Summer never really truly ends. But it's interesting that time has gone by that quick, that we're doing that. And I'm just deleting some stuff. So we got a few topics we're going to be talking about today. Hope everybody has had a good weekend. Sunday, I was busy working even this morning on some stuff, and I didn't know if I was going to come in tonight, or I actually was going to do the show earlier than what I was expecting. I was probably going to do an early show, that way I could have more free time, but I woke up so late, and I just enjoyed my bed. I don't know about you are on a weekend, you in bed, you ain't got to work, you don't have nothing to do, you just want to stay in. That's exactly what I wanted to do today, and what I did. So me and Miss stayed in, watched a little TV. I got some work done on the computer that I needed to do. And shout out to my little baby cuz Alex, who's watching. And so she just got my video link. So yeah, please, Alex, make sure you like and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, also, if you want to donate to Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle, you know this channel's not monetized. You are welcome to support anything you do to contribute to tonight's program. It's greatly appreciated. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. And I was talking about this. I'm going to get this out of the way right quick. The update with our sister, Jordan Childs. Now, those of you who know Jordan Childs, if you watched the Olympics, if you did watch it, I don't know if many people could watch the Olympics. I don't really care for it. But I watched some of it, some of the athletes that were there. Jordan Childs actually was stripped of her bronze medal award. Now, or I should say, recognized by the Olympics for third place, because, as you know, we reported last week, Romania filed an appeal against the decision, because the United States appealed at the games the score by the judges. Now, the judges made the score an error by not counting a move that she did, and the Americans actually protested, they challenged it, and they found out that she actually did do a correct split. She did points that they didn't get credit for her, and so she bumped the girl who would have gotten third place from Romania, Anna Barbosa. However, and she won. She was on the panel. Her, Simone Biles, and sister from Brazil, woman from Brazil, black woman, black Brazilian, who was there. Her name is on the tip of my tongue. I'm sorry. Y'all can, if y'all know her name, please put it in the chat. But at any rate, she's lost the third place because of the appeal, but she remained steadfast. She wasn't going, and they asked her to turn over the medal. She remained steadfast. She says, "I'm not doing anything." And so what they did was they decided to just hold their own ceremony in Romania, and they ended up giving her, Anna Barbosa, another bronze medal. And Jordan Chiles decided to keep her bronze medal. So she was presented with, on Friday, Barbosa with the bronze medal for an individual floor exercise. And this is a picture of it right here. Now, why that matters, that was going to be Jordan Chiles' first individual medal. And had she, when you get these medals, when you're an Olympic gymnast, as you all know, you, especially if you win medals, you get paid money in advertisements, endorsements. That's how the Olympians make their money. They don't make it from competing in the Olympics. This is completely intramural, recreational. They represent their countries, but they get no financing for it. They have sponsors that sponsor these teams, that finance these teams, and that's why you depend on sponsors to do that. They depend on advertisers to get paid. So Barbosa gets her medal in Romania. Jordan Chiles did not go over there. Thank goodness she didn't. And they gave her her own reward. Now, she said after receiving the medal, Barbosa said the resolution of the controversy was possible with the help of the Federation and the law firm, who did not give up on his athletes and fought for us. Now, Romania had another female that was in the gymnastics, an individual gymnast who did not place third or anywhere near it. I think she placed fifth. And there was a statement made by someone from the Romanian side saying they wish that they could have had all three girls, Jordan Chiles, Anna Barbosa, and the other female from Romania have 3 bronze medals. This is a participation award. Nobody should get an award if they didn't do a damn good job, if they didn't win and put the work in and win, period. There's a winner and a loser in every sport. And clearly, they want this participation ceremony for everyone. Jordan Chiles, to me, deserved the third place. Now, obviously, if there was an issue with judging, and I believe there was, judges screwed up, that should have been their fault. She should not have been, and by she, I mean Jordan Chiles, should not have been punished for a mistake the judges made. Now, I think it's proper if there was a mistake made on the judges' part in controversy. I don't have a problem with Barbosa getting a medal, obviously, if it's an issue the judges did. And Jordan Chiles, I think that's the best resolution to it. And that'd be the end of it. But to say that Jordan Chiles must lose her medal and trying to strip her of it, my thing is, who's going to come and get it? I'm glad Jordan Chiles is still fighting to keep her medal. She said she's not turning it over. I agree with her. She said the decision to strip her of the bronze was unjust. She's absolutely right. Barbosa even said the medal controversy was saddening and that we expected the referees and staff at the Olympics to do their job properly. She still said that she was sending the U.S. gymnasts good thoughts. Yeah. I don't know if I will even watch the Olympics in their entirety. I know a lot of people like to watch track and field, but especially after what I saw with the opening ceremony, I don't really care for. And so, but I'm glad she at least stood strong on it. Oh, so hold on, y'all. I gotta answer that. It's something from work. So yeah. So we was happy for that sister though. She stood 10 toes strong on it. Okay. So yeah, the Olympics really did black folk wrong this year. The breakdancing thing, they still talking about this witch Reagan. And the Australian news, they even, if you know Sky Australia, which is very conservative, they even criticized her because they said how bad she was. They knew how bad she was, and people have been dogging her everywhere. And you have some of her handlers, her coaches from the Olympics, that are defending her and so forth, man. Oh, she's been the victim of violent attacks and she didn't deserve all of that. We're proud of the work she's done, especially she's being ostracized as the only female in the Australian team Olympics, and she did a great. What the hell? This is what happens when you don't have a copyright on this stuff. When you don't have a copyright or control your own image, you don't control the stuff that you created. This is a consequence to that. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I could. So Sky Australia had this. Hold on. Let me show y'all right quick what they were talking about. I was watching this earlier. So yeah, there was some backlash to it. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. Let's see. I have it in the history. Alright. Where is this damn thing? Well, this is what she said. This is from Fox Sports. So, this is part of it here. Alright, hold on. Look at this. I can laugh at this when I saw this shit. Y'all laughing at it too when you hear it. Look, hold on. Here it is. This black ass shit. Fair use. Fair use. This is broken Pilates. This is not break dancing.
She got inspired by her surroundings, which in this case,
Got
for
expired by the
example, was
devil.
a kangaroo. You know, the animal. Like for breaking, like when you look for originality or innovations, you always search outside of dancing, or not always, but many times outside of the dancing, like martial arts, how the animals move or anything. And she was doing this to represent her country, her region, and she created some original moves, which could be maybe funny or entertaining for others, but
Was damn sure funny.
for us, she basically represented breaking and hip hop. She was trying to be original and bring something new to the table.
I love Rachel, and I think that
She brought
what
air
has
biscuits to the
occurred
table.
on
Get a
social
full,
media
get a full
with
low
trolls and
world.
keyboard warriors and taking those comments and giving them airtime
Yeah.
has been really disappointing. She is the best
So was her
breakdancer
performance.
female that we have for Australia.
So was the coaching.
Reagan is an absolutely loved member of this Olympic team. She has represented the Olympic team, the Olympic spirit, with great enthusiasm, and I absolutely love her courage. I love her character, and I feel very disappointed for her that she has come under the attack that she has.
It was corny. It was terrible. And they try to make her to be the victim for something. I'll tell you what, I don't blame her. I blame the coaches. I blame the Olympics, the IOC, for even greenlighting breakdancing at the Olympics. I don't consider, and people can get mad at me if they want, but I don't consider that to be a sport. I can always consider breaking or breakdancing to be an art form. That was my anticipation of it. If that's the case, can the Dancing with the Stars celebrities get at the Olympics and just do dance and then they get a medal? Y'all think Master P could compete? Remember, if you watched Dancing with the Stars, Master P was the worst. He was up there looking like the mummy from back in the day. Hell no, man. Raygon. Come on, get the hell out of here. That's her name. They knew what the hell they were doing with this stuff, and they had no black people, like we said, that were in the competitive dancing at all. And by black, I'm talking about black Americans. Nobody from America was black, which was the insult. No black judges. That wasn't by accident, by the way. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not, also make sure you hit that notification bell when we go live. So, yeah, I had to talk about that. But next thing I want to talk about, though, what our major thing is what's going on with this trial that took place this past week. It only lasted 1 week. The trial of Susan Lorincz, who was found guilty of murder. Guilty of manslaughter. She was found guilty of manslaughter against Ajiikie Owens, a mother of four. Now, if you remember, this was a story that we talked about even on our channel back in June of 2023. Susan Lorincz was accused of shooting Ajiikie Owens, who was a mother of four, after Lorincz supposedly, well, you know what, I'm not going to even say supposedly, she's been convicted. She swung on, the way the story was that she swung on the kids, one of the kids, who were playing in the yard, shouted racial slurs at them. And one of the kids, I believe she used an umbrella. I call it the umbrella case, which you see in the description. And Owens, I went to Miss Lawrence's house to confront her over this. This verdict was rendered on, I believe, this past Friday. So the jury found that Susan Lorincz was guilty of manslaughter, and even though she was charged with a murder charge, a second-degree murder, they said it was manslaughter. Now, what everybody knows with manslaughter, death basically is there has to be a period where there's no time of what they call cooling of the blood. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. I hate when this happens.
convicts Susan Lorincz for shooting and killing a Marion County mother of 4. Good afternoon, I'm Nancy Alvarez.
And I'm Ajiikie Owens' family was in court as the clerk read that guilty verdict. Moments later, Owens' family walked out of the courtroom, hugging each other after what's been a long week of testimony and deliberation. Let's choose. Tonight, Gavin is live outside Marion County Courthouse in Ocala, where Owens' family just spoke tonight.
Yeah, you know, Ajiikie Owens' family members sitting front row in that courtroom, just as they have throughout this whole trial. They grabbed each other's hands, and then as soon as that guilty verdict was read, they broke down in tears, as you can imagine, just tears of relief. And AJ's mother, she was especially emotional, just sobbing as she walked out of the courtroom, being embraced by loved ones and local attorneys, including community activists, all whom stood by her side since the beginning. And toward the end in that courtroom, she blurted out, "Oh God, thank you, Jesus," as Susan Lorincz was being taken out. This was a 6-person jury.
So this was a 6-person jury. I'm going to let the video talk, but we're also going to go over what is manslaughter, the definition of that. Why, as a lot of people may be wondering, this happened in Florida. Florida, as you know, is the stand your ground state, the same Florida where Trayvon Martin was killed. It was also where they had the loud music case, if y'all remember that. The loud music case, the guy, I can't remember the name of the dude, but the young black kid who was playing some rap music, and they had the white boy that came up to them, pulled up and was complaining about the music, and somehow there's an argument and they were shot. There was a shooting and he killed one of the kids. I think it's Jordan. If someone can correct me, find out what that case is. Hold on.
All of them white. They started deliberating right around noon. The verdict was read just shy of 3 o'clock. And before that, jurors had a question and then a request. They wanted to listen to the 911 calls that Lorincz made the night she fired her gun through her locked door and killed AJ. That request was approved. And then they had a clarification question about the door being damaged. But the judge denied that because the evidence, as he said, was already presented during trial. It took about 3 hours of deliberations to reach a guilty verdict. And as you said, it's been a week long of testimony. But AJ's mom, Pamela Diaz, says getting to this day meant a year of pain and grief, especially for AJ's children.
I feel that although my daughter is gone forever, the children's mom is gone forever, but we've achieved some justice for Ajiikie. My heart is a little lighter, and we're now on the path of true healing.
While the defense argued Lorincz was in fear when AJ was pounding on her front door, the state said she intentionally committed the act, was negligent, and caused utter disregard for the life of others when she shot through her locked door that had a deadbolt. And the family of AJ Owens, they say, while they are pleased with the prosecutors and the jury reaching this guilty verdict, they are now looking to the judge to do his job. They are asking for the maximum sentence for this manslaughter conviction, and the judge says he will set a future date for that sentencing hearing. Live in Marion County, Issac, West 2 News.
All right, tonight. And now
so she wasn't charged with murder initially. I want to stand corrected. The charge that she, and I'm talking about Susan Lorincz, was charged with and eventually convicted was called manslaughter with the firearm. She was charged with aggravated manslaughter. That was the charge that they went with. Why didn't they go with murder? My guess is that with murder, you had to prove intent. And that was going to be, you know, even with any murder, now its definitions are different across every state, but they're very similar. Similar doesn't mean the same. There are similarities, obviously, in it. Now, manslaughter, aggravated manslaughter, is a first-degree felony that can result in a maximum prison sentence of 30 years. This can occur when the victim is elderly, disabled, or falls into another category that the state considers vulnerable or important. But I think the aggravated manslaughter occurs when the offender, obviously, they're armed with this was with a dangerous weapon. So the maximum prison sentence you can get it's a first-degree felony. And I'm just reading from a Florida attorney's website again. I am an attorney, but I'm an attorney based in Louisiana. I'm not your attorney. This doesn't create some type of attorney-client relationship, just FYI. But weapons of a firearm is a first-degree felony when a gun, knife, or another weapon is used during the commission of the crime. If the victim was vulnerable, meaning a disabled person or a child under the age of 18 or an elderly person, or the offender, the officer or first responder, if it was a first responder or an officer you killed, or there was a hit and run. Now, that's just from a defense attorney, Flaherty and Merrifield. Go to them. I recommend them. Just buy this website. I don't know if you have trouble in Florida. But that's the definite. So that is under Florida statute 782.07. Now, I think they were going to have a hard time proving murder. But what happened, if you recall, is that she went over to the residence. She complained about the woman swinging at her child. And supposedly Susan Lorincz, and I believe this, was making racial slurs or epithets towards the children. She was always acting that way towards kids from what neighbors had described. By the way, on another note, that case I mentioned earlier about the loud music, that was Michael Dunn, who shot and killed 17-year-old Jordan Davis. He was convicted on 4 out of 5 charges, including first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life, 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. That was Michael Dunn. Yeah. So we have this situation of Susan Lorincz, and I'm going to play another video that I have here. This video is from NBC because NBC reported it. They were fighting over this for a long. Neighbors reported they heard the fighting that took place. They actually heard the children arguing with the neighbor, with Lorincz. And she swung an umbrella at one of them. And after the children told their mother, she went over to confront her. Now, the civil rights attorney, Ben Crump and Anthony Thomas, are representing the family. I don't know if Ben Crump still represents them. And it was hard initially because the sheriff's department, Marion County Sheriff Woods, had to follow the stand your ground law. But after they reviewed surveillance footage and digital evidence, and they conducted interviews, including with the children and with Lorincz, they charged her with manslaughter with a firearm, culpable negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. When asked whether stand your ground law had applied, Sheriff Billy Woods said in a press conference, quote, "This situation is a prime example of when it was not justified. It was simply a killing." Now, let me show you the NBC video. Now, and the jury even saw this. They played an animation from what happened because Lorincz fired the shot from inside our house at the door when Ajiikie Owens was banging on the door.
Bailiff, please.
After less than 3 hours of deliberation,
all right,
the Florida jury convicted Susan Lorincz of manslaughter more than a year after she shot and killed her neighbor Ajiikie Owens through a front door. Lorincz appearing stoic as a verdict was read.
The defendant is guilty of manslaughter.
The week-long trial put a spotlight on the ongoing feud between the 2 neighbors and how it reached a boiling point last June after a dispute over Owens' children. Owens confronted Lorincz at her apartment, banging and cursing through the door. Jurors watched Lorincz tell detectives her side of the story, captured on video shortly after the shooting.
I thought she was just going to break down the door.
Okay.
So, I mean, my heart was pounding, and I was like, she's really going to kill me.
Prosecutors argued there was no evidence Owens was trying to break through and posed no imminent danger, and therefore firing a gun was not justified.
It's not a crime to bang on somebody's door. It's not a crime to yell.
Attorneys for Lorincz said she had a right to defend herself at the time, leaning into this animated simulation of what may have played out.
If someone who is on the outside of your door that is banging and pounding so hard wants to get in that house and they do, it is too late. And Susan Lorincz had no idea what Ajiikie Owens had on her.
Investigators say Owens was not armed. Lorincz did not take the stand, but she wrote a note to AJ's children last year, read aloud by a detective.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I never meant to kill your mother. I was terrified your mom was going to kill me. I shot out of fear.
Family and friends of AJ Owens appeared in court each day and broke down in tears after hearing the verdict.
Oh, God, thank you.
And outside the courtroom, a moment of reflection after a painful journey toward justice.
If you had an opportunity to say something to Susan right now, what would you tell her?
No words for Susan Lorincz.
Her mom asking the community to keep AJ's children in their prayers.
I find some peace with that verdict. I feel that although my daughter is gone forever, the children's mom is gone forever, but we've achieved some justice for Ajiikie. My heart is a little lighter, and we're now on the path of true healing.
Lorincz will now remain in the Marion County Jail without bond. Her sentencing is scheduled for a later date. She could be looking at up to 30 years in prison.
That would mean she would be, if she's convicted for up to 30 years in prison, guys, that means she'll likely be 90 years old by the time she gets out. Hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get a murder charge on her. They got that. It's up to the judge to make the final decision. And that's what's going to be key. What is the judge in the case going to decide as the appropriate sentence for Susan Lorincz? Now, I'm wondering why, though, if there were reports of racial epithets and slurs that have been used, because if you read the article from NBC News, I'm going to put it back up, the neighbors reported in the community, had reported that she had been using the N-word. They reported this. So, this was reported. One neighbor by the name of Phyllis Willis lived in the neighborhood for 15 years and described Lorincz as having a problem with children being children. He noted that many of the neighbors had issues with Lorincz. Lorincz yelled curse words as well as used the N-word, the N-slur, and it perturbed people with intellectual disabilities, Willis said. She's gotten into her truck and blasted the radio as loud as she could to agitate the kids. Willis said she's gotten into her truck and laid on the horn for long periods of time to agitate them as well. So she's took her .380 caliber handgun and fired a shot from inside her apartment. Now, inside her apartment door. Now, let me just say this, especially a little legalese for everybody. It's not first-degree murder. The issue with the first-degree murder, Curly, they were going to have a problem with that is, again, you have to prove intent with murder, an intent to kill, and obviously someone that's inside their home. They looked at it. There was an incident between the kids, and I can see why manslaughter would be given, because they saw as an incident where she was the aggressor. Absolutely, she's the adult. She attacked these kids, but then she goes into her home and residence. The mom goes to confront her and knocks aggressively on the door. That is not a reason to blow me up and kill me, by no means. But I guess their argument would have been, the problem again would have been the intent element. Would they've been able to prove she intended, specific intent to kill Ajiikie Owens? And the prosecutors and the probably did not want to take that chance of an acquittal. And you heard there was 6 white people, 6 whites that said guilty. So justice was done, in my opinion, in this case. And I'm waiting. I am waiting to see what will happen with the judge in this case. What decision he's likely to hand out to her. What is that going to look like?
At intersections of
that's going to be key. This judge, I don't know much about him. They don't give his name in the report, but her sentencing is going to be coming up soon. Probably, let's see here, find out when it's her sentence. They don't even list who the judge in this Lorincz case is. I'm sure it's here. It's not in the report. But to deliberate for 2.5 hours, they obviously had to see that she was the aggressor. Judge Robert Hodges is the judge. So her sentencing, and they don't date, but they don't send when the sentencing is, but we're going to keep y'all posted. But she definitely, I didn't see the self-date. Tried to argue stand your ground with this, but stand your ground just didn't apply. Because as the prosecutor, his name was Rich Buxman, said, it's not a crime to bang on somebody's door. It's not a crime to yell. That is correct. Now, someone is attempting to break into your apartment or your home. If someone was there trying to, if Miss Owens had a weapon, for instance, and she was trying to knock and bang aggressively on the door, maybe they might have an argument for stand your ground. If she had a murder weapon, if she had a gun or something, she didn't have that. So they can't say her life was in danger. And she attacked these kids. Now, the public defender, shout out to my colleague Amanda Sizemore, was the assistant public defender who represented her. And she said she can defend herself. She had a split second to make a decision whether or not to fire her weapon. Lorincz did not testify in her own defense, but said in an interview with detectives that was played for jurors that she never intended to harm Owens. Still, in one 911 call, Lorincz told a dispatcher, I'm sick of these children. She was not in fear, she was angry, Buxman said. Now, interesting enough, she was convicted of the manslaughter, which is her big thing. I'm wondering about the battery and the culpable negligence charges, because they also charged her for hitting the kids, because she threw roller skates and swung an umbrella at them. Yeah. She's got Karen written all over that ugly face. But, well, the state would have to prove intent based off the evidence, Tylene. So when they charged it as aggravated manslaughter. And my guess is they just had the evidence they had at the time. They couldn't prove or had issues with the intent. So they just went with the aggravated manslaughter due to the fact that a dangerous weapon was used. Someone's life was taken, obviously, sadly, which it would fit all the elements according to Florida law. She was not, she was in her home. Her home wasn't broken into. Someone banged aggressively on the door and was yelling at them. That's not the crime. That's not a crime what they did. And Had she broken into the home, however, if she had kicked open the door and walked in, then maybe there would be an argument for stand your ground, but that didn't happen. Stop the screen. Make sure you all smash up the likes. We'll carry more when the sentencing happens. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Buy The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby on Amazon Kindle. And make sure you get that notification bell. Also, please drop something in the Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal if you could. Finally, so that was, we were talking about Susan Lorincz, who was found guilty against of manslaughter against Ajiikie Owens. Now I got to talk about this because this has been bothering me. Issac III. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the brother, I think O'Shea Du Jackson, did a video on him because he was coming at black men, and he and Lord Jamore were going back and forth. And Issac III was going back and forth with black men that weren't supporting Kamala Harris. And so Kamala come, or as Judge Joe Brown says, come Queen laughing hyena, Vice President Harris. Let's put it that way, because I got people complaining about mispronouncing their name. And yeah, I saw Michael Eric Dyson. I got to do a separate video on that. I can do a good Michael Eric Dyson impersonation for everybody. The eloquence of the black female who is addicted to retail has nothing but love for a black man who doesn't like her chocolate mocha vanilla self. And it is embarrassing to the detail that a black man cannot love this woman of a retail who has no tail, but a big tail that is frequent for the black man. You know, word salad, Negro. He was going at it on CNN with that Representative Mace. Yeah. So we're going to talk about it. I want to talk about it a little bit more. So those that don't know, Issac Hayes III was Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin was once the owner of the 76ers. I think he was a minority owner, if I'm not mistaken. He's a businessman. He's been friends with Meek Mill. He owns Fanatics, which is a sports platform, digital sports platform, and it consists of several other businesses. He's a multi-billionaire. So he was part owner of the 76ers and the New Jersey Devils hockey team. Wealthy guy. And he co-formed Reformance Alliance, which is a criminal justice reform organization, in 2019 with Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, Daniel Loeb, and Jay-Z, among others. Now, this is what happened. So, on the Breakfast Club, Rubin was being interviewed, and I guess there was a question that was raised about Meek Mill and Diddy. And when he went on the Breakfast Club, he had to, I'm going to play the video. So this is Michael Rubin here for everybody who doesn't know. He's the chairperson of Rue La La as well. Wealthy man, extremely wealthy. This is a picture of him. So how does Issac Hayes III fits in? I'm going to explain in a minute. We go to X, and you go to my X page. I have the video here. I saved under the bookmarks. Okay, a little issue. Sorry, y'all. Hold up.
I'd be more excited if, you know.
Let me rewind it. Fair use, because I don't want Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club, iHeartRadio, putting a copyright strike on me. Fair use. So, Charlemagne, I'm going to rewind it. Listen carefully what Charlemagne says, and then Rubin
said you don't like to see black people tearing down other black people.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like it's horrible. Like I want to support look, you guys know me pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I can ever help with, I'm always there. Mm-hmm. I always want to be helpful. I feel lucky and fortunate to do what I do every day. Because, whatever success I've had, I feel blessed to do that. And I want to give back in every way I can. In business and in charitable things, I'm always trying to be helpful. Like, why does someone want to bring somebody else down? Let's try to build everybody up. Like, I'd be more excited if I'd be more excited to see one of my friends do something that's 99% less meaningful to me, but it would be really meaningful to them because I want them to do great. I want everyone around me to do great. Mm-hmm. I don't like watching, there's a little bit, and you tell me, you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think there's a little bit of a black culture of like, it's black hate on hate. It's like that black judge that Meek had that hated on him and wanted to go extra hard on him. Okay. It's like, it's what people always say to me. It's like black hate on hate. So I think it's terrible. I think it's something that I think it's culturally wrong. And I'll probably get killed for saying this because,
I'm glad you're saying it openly. If this is the conversations that are being had,
I have it all the time.
I want to hear this.
Yeah. So I think it's wrong. I think, like, why do you not want to build everyone up around you? Why do you not want everyone around you to do great? The best way for everyone to do great is to push each other up.
So a lot of people took issue with what Mr. Rubin had to say. And on the breakfast slubs. And I'm even going to do you a favor, even the Root, or I should call him the Groot, no offense to the Marvel character, had something to say about it because he had to walk back those comments. Now, I'm going to show you what they had to say. So he apologizes for that moment. He was attempting to clear up some rumors about Meek Mill, and he was talking about he's basically a very popular person in the realm of hip hop due to his sports platform, Fanatics. So they were talking about whether about gays and blacks, if people want to be gay, it's 2024, who the F cares? Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. That's too easy if I said something. Talking about, so why do people want to lie about that? Why do people want to change the narrative of a bet he made with me to hurt him? However, Rubin quickly showed how comfortable he got in the culture as he shared his disdain for the way black people allegedly hate on each other. And you heard what he said, and you saw that there. So some people took issue with it because you have somebody from outside the culture trying to accuse black people of tearing each other down. You're saying you hate seeing this, and you come, I'm going by, I could go easy, especially on that last name. Mr. Rubin comes from a community that, let's just say, has a very interesting relationship with black people in the last 400 years. Let's just leave it at that. And y'all can do your own research from that. Now, his intentions may have been genuine, but in the future, he should refrain from speaking about a culture he cannot claim. That was from somebody from the Root. And I actually agree with that. Candace McDuffie wrote that. Now, he walked back his comments. He said, I got a phone call from one of the people I have the most respect for in the world. They told me, while they appreciate my intention, it's not my place to speak on black culture. I get it, and I really appreciate the input. My intention was to say how important it is that we need, and I'm sorry, it's going to go to another page, to uplift each other, stop hate on each other, and push each other to win, and always root for others' success. My bad. Much love and appreciate the feedback. Breakfast Club AM, DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, Lorraine LaRosa. Somebody wrote on his Twitter now, you need the Kyrie treatment. You have to sit down with Dr. Umar, learn about anti-Blackism and how your words are against Black people. Donate to the Hebrew Israelites and the Moors. We demand the same thing that ADL forces us to do. Yeah, the ADL will come down on us, on Black people. But this is how it relates to what Isaac Hayes did. So Isaac Hayes is, and I've been convinced, he had a show on Sirius XM, if I'm not mistaken, but he said, I'm gonna do his voice too, because he sounded like his father. I'm not trying to show Hurricane Chris. What Michael Rubin said was right. Building wealth in the Black community is not looked at as competition, not collaboration. If I brought a deal where I would make 50 million and another Black man would make 10 million, I would have several Black men that wouldn't do that deal but if Michael Rubin would make 50 million and they made 10, they would do the deal. Argue with yourself. So
He said you don't like to see Black people tearing down other Black people.
One guy told him, shut up. Every oppressed community has taught to mistrust and not work together. Black people are the only ones under a damn microscope 24/7. Still, stop pathologizing lies. Your Black butt would not be here if it was not for the Black unity in the midst of a system that promotes anti-Blackness and Black self-hate. And certain people were going off on him. Because, yeah, he's trivializing stereotypes at that point. Like, it's just Black people. It's not just Black people, first of all, that tear each other down and hate each other. Other groups do the same. Everybody has been taught to mistrust and not work together. But yes, Black people, in some ways we have been. But I didn't see how Michael Rubin could say, and when I get Charlemagne was leading him on, how Black people tearing each other, Black people down. And he was speaking on stuff he shouldn't have been speaking on. And so a lot of people took issue with him. And there was a brother I saw, Isaac Hayes III he also has a social media platform as well, BlackRock. And a lot of people were saying, now it makes sense. Now, BlackRock, he has fan base app. BlackRock is not the place for fame. So he was meeting at BlackRock, and people were commenting, now it makes sense why he's acting like that and defending Rubin. And my guess is the reason they're saying that, and I'm just, you know what? I don't want to speculate. Let me walk that back a little bit. I don't want to speculate. So he has his fan base app. Let's put the music back on, shall we? But Isaac Hayes has been the third. He's one of those guys, and I used to listen to him. I used to follow him on X. But, Isaac Hayes III, I know he and Dwan were going at it against each other. And a lot of people were saying, this explains everything. Sad, cult of Satan, communist. You don't care about your brothers and sisters. You align yourself with a company that is stealing from them, you effing scumbag. Now, what is BlackRock? BlackRock is an investment company. So I got to do my research with stuff like this. So this is my first time of hearing of the company BlackRock, in all honesty. Founded in 1988, initially as an enterprise risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. They're the world's largest asset manager with $10 trillion in assets under management as of December 31st, 2023. BlackRock, I'm reading from the Wikipedia page, they have sought to position itself as an industry leader in environmental, social, and governance considerations and investments. It has been criticized for investing in companies that are involved in fossil fuels, the arms industry, the People's Liberation Army, and human rights violations in China. I wonder if that's what they're talking about. So, is this one of the reasons why a lot of people are criticizing Issac III? Now, Issac, let's look at this. Outside of having his father's name, I don't know if anybody would have heard of Issac III. Now, I don't know the man personally. I don't like to speak negatively of people I don't know. I have seen him go back and forth, and especially this past year recently, his take on Vice President Kamala Harris, on Democrats. He's basically anything with the Democratic Party. He's part of that shield community. I've learned from my research. Now, you can vote for who you want. I don't attack people for voting the way that they want, but I notice he has done the same, attacking black men that don't stand with Miss Harris.
This is never been done before.
Nah. Yeah, he and Donald Trump are going back and forth. Actually, Donald Trump, he's suing the estate of Issac Hayes is suing Donald Trump because he's used Issac Hayes' songs to come out for his campaign rallies. I think he's a couple of them, which is their right. They can do that. But, Issac Hayes III is known. He's basically known to be staunch with the Democrats. 2 feet down. Now, there's nothing wrong with voting for who you want, but it's clear when he makes these posts, when he makes stuff like this, why he's aligning the way he is, why he feels the way he is. It makes more sense now. But people have criticized him. And we pushing and I retweeted and I criticized him for saying that, because while there are issues in the black community, it's a stereotype that you say that we're the only reason the black community is not where they were, blacks don't go further, is because we don't speak up. We are always bringing each other down. It's not always the case, man. There is a pathology. We're playing into a stereotype, dangerous stereotype, that there's a pathology in black people that prevents us from supporting each other. People, I think, don't support each other, especially nowadays, because first off, money is always tight with people, not making an excuse for it. But yeah, and there are people who can have money and can spend on stuff, but people don't like taking risks in some things as well. And Rubin had to apologize for it. He didn't delete it. Issac Hayes III obviously didn't delete this. So he stands by it. And yeah, I responded to him. I thought he was wrong in saying what he said. Certainly. Yeah. So something, I'm listening to them. I don't know what it is. I guess they throw money at them, but yeah, they use these brothers. They use black people especially, and y'all know this, to push agendas on the black community, push stuff on them. I can't say that I'm surprised by what Isaac Hayes III, just looking at him and following him the last couple of months, especially for the last couple of years, his platform, because I saw he was a music producer, so I was gonna show the brother love. I actually liked a lot of stuff he said, some things, but then I'm starting to see stuff and I realized, well, damn, this is what makes sense. This is why he's attacking Wambi, why he's saying stuff like this. This is why he supports that. I think it fits the narrative. It definitely fits the narrative. It definitely fits the narrative of this. I was trying to find this other brother's post. I had because he was actually tweeting, and yeah, but I saw the Black Rock tweet, and that's actually what I want to show you. But damn, yeah, and I got bookmarks. I got to do a separate video on Michael Eric Dyson, because I actually have the bookmark of Dyson. Dyson is another one. I used to have respect for Michael Eric Dyson until I want to say he was defending. Y'all remember that incident with Gayle King? And he was actually defending Gayle King from Snoop Dogg and others when they were criticizing him because he called her a bitch because she made some remarks about Kobe Bryant. She made some remarks about Kobe Bryant. So Michael Eric Dyson, all this stuff on my did this love note
this morning for little girls,
he says,
for aunties, for grandmothers, for wives, for partners, for lovers,
oh my
for
God,
teachers, ditch diggers, engineers, around the way girls, to presidential candidates.
Oh Lord.
We black men who have too often failed you, who have too often not said the right thing at the right time, who have been vulnerable to the claim that we have forgotten what you have done for us, the magnificence of your service to our people, the beauty and power of your spirit at times when we flagged. We remember all the remarkable things you have done and beg your forgiveness for us not standing up for you when times were tough, or when no one else was in the room to defend you, to assert the legitimacy and validity of your personhood. Please forgive us. But no more will that occur. And so the other night, Keith Boykin and I were on CNN trying to be respectful to the Congresswoman who insisted upon mispronouncing Kamala Harris.
So he's talking about they were on CNN earlier the week, and yes, they were talking about Kamala Harris, the vice president, and the representative, the white lady, mispronounced Kamala Harris's name multiple times. Now, most people mispronounce even me, because I've been accused of it, mispronounce her name and how it's said, because some people say Kamala. It happens often, but if you watch the video, I got to be real. They really racialized something that didn't need to be racialized. Now, that's not me defending the white woman or her politics. I don't even know Representative Mace that much, what she stands for, but it was clearly on CNN. Dyson does this stuff where I gotta be real, because I've fallen out with Dyson. He race baits. He always sounds like he's talking a big game, but it's word salad. Him and Vice President Harris, he could actually be the running mate. They'd be perfect.
Do you call Melania Melania? Do you call Ivanka Ivanka? Then call Kamala Kamala. Then call Vice President Harris Vice President Kamala Harris. And soon we pray and hope and work that you will call her President Kamala Harris. So this is a note to put on notice anybody who would come for us, who would try to stain the reputation or besmirch the character of Black women, not only the Kamala Harrises of the world, but the Shaniquas and the Jackies and the Renees and whoever else a Black woman happens to be, and whatever else her name happens to be. We will stand tall for them. Not you unprincipled harridans, you people who assault the legitimacy of our Black womanhood more than...
All right, I'm just going to stop right there. Black womanhood. We already know Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, first of all, is not a Black woman. By that I mean she is not from, while she was born here in the United States, her mother was Indian, Hindu Brahmin. Her father was from the island of Jamaica. They listed his nationality, his race is Jamaican, although Jamaican is not a race on her birth certificate. She was listed as Caucasian. Her mother was listed as Caucasian on her birth certificate. Now, she is not a traditional Black American. And by that, I mean a descendant of slaves. She can be a HBCU graduate. She can have, she can be a AKA. They have white females. Look, they have white females that are in Delta. The big video that's gone viral, the pictures that went viral of the Delta a couple of years ago, white girl who was actually pretty fine, thick looking. She was doing the throwing up the triangle and so forth, had her Delta color she was wearing, her vestments and stuff. So there have been white females that are in these sororities. They got I seen white Omegas on the grounds of Southern, stumping the yard. They have they'll have one or two white boys in Omega passing and crossing that year. Does that make them Black? No. They just joined an HBCU. And most of them join these HBCUs, let's be real, just like Mike Foster, the governor of Louisiana, who was a Republican. He went to an HBCU. He went and graduated from Southern University Law Center, law school, while he was buddy-buddy with David Duke. So that means nothing. This symbolism stuff, I got to do a separate video on Dr. Dyson. Like I said, you can vote for who you want. You want to stand by you want to vote for her, please. But Dyson does all of this pandering, especially to convince Black people. He's one of those. He and several others, y'all already know who I'm talking about. If you've seen me on this channel, I've talked about them. But like Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, I got to even throw DL Hughley in it, because I even saw DL Hughley was going at Judge Joe Brown and a few others. and Judge Joe was going back and forth with him. Judge Joe actually had a debate with Michael Eric Dyson a few, I think, last year. They did a debate 2 years ago. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I got to do a separate video on that, man. But we got to start exposing these people. You know, you vote for who you want, but when you start trying to shame black men, black people to vote, when you start pandering, you want to sell your soul to this because I don't, or accuse or shame me and try to force someone to vote how you want. That's when the problem begins. And that is why a lot of black men are standing away from voting. That's why a lot of people don't like discussing politics, because everyone gets offended if you vote, don't do what someone does, or you disappoint someone by not voting how they want you to vote. I don't have to vote for how you want me to vote. My vote is my choice. And don't stand there like a hypocrite when you say we're convincing other people not to vote for Kamala Harris, when you're doing the same thing when you're telling people not to vote for Trump, like Ricky Smiley, or vote third party. You dared to insult someone. Well, you can say you don't want to vote for her and you vote third party. You basically vote for Trump. And that's my point. That's my choice. That's my choice. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. It's almost 7 and I'm looking at the clock. And I thought I was going to be here for like 45 minutes. I went over an hour, but we had a good time. Make sure you donate, drop something in the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. If you could, so love me for my time, pay me for my time. I'm not a beggar, but it's helpful if you go ahead and drop something. Hit that notification bell. Buy The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby on Amazon Kindle. Make sure you smash up the likes. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that notification bell. I'll see you. Be one, be safe, and be blessed. I'll holla. Peace.